Uh, Charles Sobhraj, there is outside validation because he said there was this one official that he couldn't bribe. That was you, Sunil Gupta?
Yeah.
So Charles Shobhraj, in his book, admitted that there was an official that he couldn't bribe with all the money and all the favors that he had in court. But again, I want to remind everyone that, you know, this book is full of such absurd, crazy stories, but it is not a fictional book. It is not fiction. This is non-fiction we're talking about. It includes crazy stories like jailers marrying inmates.
Yeah.
And why people have a fetish for wanting to eat jail food and pregnant
Jailers
women
marrying inmates actually was the most, it's that story which blows your mind, right? Because there are these stories of, you know, Sunil Gupta talks about his own life. What got me was that he told me this joke. And bear with me while I tell you this joke, where he says that there was a joke which was really popular among people who work in jails, and it just tells you how dark it is. Apparently the joke goes that God comes to a jailer and says to him, you can have anything you want, but there's a but to it. So the jailer goes, what? And he goes, whatever you want, you'll get, but your neighbor will get double. So the guy thinks and he thinks and thinks, and you know what he asked for? He said, I want to be blind in one eye. So it's such a negative atmosphere that this is what people think about, right? So this is the kind of atmosphere there is. So in this negativity, where because you're a jailer, nobody wants to marry you, there are people who are like, as Sarah said, scum of the earth all around you. What happens to men? Obviously, if you have a government job, you still get a suitable bride. Even though Sunil Gupta says in the book that it was difficult for him to find someone who was willing to marry him. But for women, it's especially more. So I found it fascinating, the whole story is about how these women jailers, they end up marrying convicted rapists. Or, because that's the only person they see. So love blossoms anywhere. Love really is blind. So if you're surrounded by rapists and murderers, there is a chance you might fall in love with one.